Hi there. So we're on to the second step in running a successful crusade. And this is what I describe as defining the parameters. And really what that means is setting the boundaries around the crusade. And there are a few rules of thumb that really do work from a point of view of making your crusade successful. So the first one is the crusade shouldn't last longer than 6 months. If it's longer than 6 months, you run out of energy. If it's longer than 6 months, it becomes a job for the people doing it rather than a crusade. If it's longer than 6 months, people's attention drifts and there's a potential that boredom or routine sets in. And those are the very things that crusades are designed to eliminate. We don't want routine, we don't want boredom, we don't want people being happy that they come into the same place every day to work. We want change, momentum, and quite a lot of sparkiness going on. We'll talk about cash. Typically, crusades can vary from an investment of anything from £10,000 to £100,000. But the successful ones have one thing in common. Those investments represent about 10% of the eventual gain that you're planning to get. They represent 10% of the objective that you set all the way back in that step one. So if you're planning to make £100,000, make sure your investment isn't more than £10,000 through the crusade. And part of the ingenuity that we try and drive through these crusades is that ingenuity of doing things on a low-cost basis. Finally, if your objective isn't going to make you or the crusade £100,000 in revenue, then it really probably isn't worth doing. £100,000 is a reasonable earning for a successful businessman for a year. You're running a crusade with everything that's involved in it. If you're not aiming to get £100,000, then it really falls into the category of a small project. So go for that £100,000. So you mustn't be longer than 6 months, mustn't invest more than 10% of the eventual gain. Don't bother if it's less than £100,000. If you match all those things, you've got a crusade that's worth fighting for and worth putting effort into. Thanks.